Hello everybody and welcome to this week's bonus podcast. I'm Michael.
I'm Gemma.
And we are recording this episode live from London.
What's
That's right, we're up north this week, aren't
Yeah.
we, Gemma? Yeah, we've taken a long and perilous journey to that London.
Yeah.
For the British Soap Awards. We're currently in our hotel room there. Ooh, it's a travel
really
lodge.
Oh, shut up.
Oh yeah, sorry, no, it's really fancy. It's like, we're at the Ritz, aren't we, definitely?
Yes, we're staying at the Ritz and we've got to hurry up because the butler's going to come and bring us a 3-course breakfast.
We have actually got to hurry up because we need to be out of this room in about an hour, but we thought we'd do a little recording now to let you know about us going to visit the Soap Awards experience. And yeah, we record it while we're here just to make a change. So we're not in our usual studio. The window's open because it's quite a hot hotel room.
I won't close the window, so
Gemma's refusing to close the window. So you can, but it helps with all the ambience, doesn't it? The real London traffic sounds that might be coming in from the background.
Some people pay to get this piped into their podcasts.
Yeah.
Like this sort of music, this sort of noise, this ambient noise, is the sort of thing you might want if you're doing a podcast about murder.
Yeah, but
because there's lots of murders in London.
Yes.
And I was nearly one of them yesterday.
There were no murders last night, although murderers were celebrated as part of the awards.
There was a murder.
What?
Coronation Street got slaughtered.
Coronation Street did get slaughtered a little bit in the Soap Awards last night. Didn't come away with quite so many awards as we would have liked, and certainly not as many as we've seen them pick up the last couple of times we've come to the British Soap Awards.
So it's not our fault?
No, we weren't the bad omen or anything.
No.
It's just third time unlucky. But this is the third time that we've been in an audience for the British Soap Awards, the second time at the Hackney Empire in London, and it's still just a lot of fun, so we thought we'd talk about it today. And it was a very important one because of recent departures. This was the last time we would get a chance to see Danny Dyer in the audience.
I know.
Gosh, we're never going to see Danny Dyer again.
I can't believe it. Like, he's like...
And Charlie Gemello, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Good old Danny Dyer.
Is he not
mascot
of
the podcast?
Soap Awards anymore?
No, he won't. He's gone, isn't he?
You didn't tell me that. I would have savoured the moment a bit more.
I just realised this about half an hour ago that was
bad.
the last time for me
They're going to kill him off.
Make fun of a funny face in a picture of Danny Dyer.
Well, where are we going to meet him now then?
I don't know, Gemma.
What's he going to do? What's he doing?
I know. Is he still saying on Sky? I
know what he's going to do. He's going to be the next James Bond.
He could well be the next James Bond, yeah. Anyway. So we're just going to talk about our little experience, and hopefully, if I can get the time and bother to do it, I will stick this on YouTube as well and put a load of videos and stuff. Because Gemma was my trusty camera woman during the awards last night, weren't you? Yeah. Well, during the arrivals and stuff, we weren't allowed to do any photography or videoing during the recording of it, but I guess you've got the British Soap Awards actually that you can watch on TV for that.
Yes, but you can't see Philip Schofield swearing in between.
No.
He always likes to throw in one swear word, doesn't he? Like, I'm down with you lot. I'm like a normal person.
Yeah, before
don't be fooled though.
Before Philip Schofield came up on stage,
he's a lizard man. He's got a mask on. He's got a human mask. When he takes it off, he's actually a gecko.
Before he came up on stage, we were all told no video nor photographing from this point onwards, please. But then Scof came out on the stage and Gemma hung it down.
Well, somebody on Instagram.
Yes, Jack on Instagram.
I was like, I want lots of pictures of Philip Schofield, so I had to take one, and I thought I was sneaky, and I thought also it's not even live yet. It's not even 8 o'clock or whenever it was, so I can take a photo. And there's the lady like, you can't do that. Like,
somebody
sorry.
came and told you
off.
You know,
when you told me to not do it, I didn't really think that applied to me.
Yeah, exactly. I'm Gemma. It's a Conversation Cheap podcast, you know.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, so we've got lots of photographs and videos of people arriving and stuff. So I guess we'll talk a little bit about that. But go on.
What?
I thought you took an intake of breath. Like
what were you going to say?
I was just going to talk about our journey there and everything.
Well, then.
We went on the train.
Well, first of all, it was a bit dramatic because we wanted to get a taxi, and there were four
we almost
cruise
didn't
ships
make it
in town, and so we had to. It was a bit late.
Yeah, our taxi was late. We had to phone up and saying, "Oi, where's our taxi?" We've got a train to London to catch. Actually, thank you very much. So they were like, "Oh yeah, it's just on its way." But we could see on the app they'd only just sent it out, literally. And I think if I hadn't phoned up, we wouldn't have got it.
No.
But then we went. I haven't done a train journey for ages. It's very nice. So we sat on the train for a little bit.
No, that's wrong. It's not nice. Why is it nice? Because you don't have to drive.
Because I don't have to drive, exactly.
No, you don't have to drive a train.
Got to play on my Switch on the journey. It was very nice. Actually.
If only it was reasonably priced, then maybe we would take it more often.
Yes, trains are extortionate in this country. What time do we needed to get, because we knew that the Corrie people would be arriving at 5:00 at the Hackney Empire, and we'd originally booked to have something to eat at 3, hadn't we? But we were running a little bit late anyway, because I think the train was late. We wouldn't have made that, so we didn't have that. We kind of got into Hackney, went to the Ritz, and
yeah, we did.
Definitely the Ritz and not the Travelodge, and unpacked. We had a lovely little look around our lovely room, and then headed off.
Corners, bathroom, bed.
Yeah, there's only so much to say about it, really. It's standard.
Let's get to the next bit. I wanted something to eat, so we walked around, and I was grumpy because I was like, well,
Gemma,
I'm not coming here. I'm going home because I need to be constantly bribed.
Yeah.
So
take part in these silly Coronation Street events.
I'm not going to have this, and I'm not going to McDonald's. I want something nice that you can only get in London. And there was nothing.
You mainly fancied some jelly deals, didn't you?
I was like, I need some.
But Danny Dyer knows where the jelly deal places are.
I need what is it? Pie and liquor, please.
Yeah, but we didn't find any of that because Hackney itself doesn't seem to have very many places that you can go and eat.
No, it probably does, but we just didn't find them.
Not that we saw.
The place we booked was like closed by this point anyway.
Yeah.
So I went found somewhere, and then you were like, "Oh, I want to go and see what's going on at the thing." So
this was about 3:45 at this point, wasn't it?
It was.
And
so you were like, oh, I'm going to go and see what's going on. And then you went off and left me. And then you were like, oh, I can't leave because I'm at the front. And it's a really great position. And everyone's, if we go now, we'll never get a front thing. It's like, you could muscle your way in. So, excuse me.
We probably could have done, to be honest, but I didn't realise. So when you go outside, there weren't barriers at the time, but there was a line of people sort of forming opposite the Hackney Town Hall, which is where
some poor people are trying to get married.
Yeah, there was a wedding there. Yes, there was there were some rows of people standing up there, and then at some point a bride and groom came out and got confetti thrown all over them. It was lovely. It reminds
me of those poor couples that got married the same day as Prince Charles and Camilla.
Oh, and poor Ken and Deirdre.
No, that was William. That was Charles and Diana you're thinking of, which is a bit of a faux pas.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Excuse me.
The other wife.
And
they all came out of like the town hall, wherever it was, like with like the world's cameras in their faces, like, oh good god. Anyway, so I had to go and come and sit sad and alone in the hotel room eating because I refused to go and stand.
Yeah, you're not waiting around for an hour.
I'm not standing around outside somewhere.
Well, I did for the podcast listeners, so I could get all the good shots, and I was like right along the far left. I was about as far left as you could get. Because I don't know what time the people who were in the prime spot in the middle could go, but I didn't know where the prime spot was. Because when we went last time, which was, 2019, I guess, when they had it at the, what was it, 2020? No, it wouldn't have been 2020. It's irrelevant. Anyway, when they had it in Manchester last, we were right opposite the door, weren't we, to go in? And that turned out to be not a great place. And I remember people, all the cars coming in and going all down the sides, but they didn't actually come opposite the door for too much. So I thought, right, I'm going to go right to the edge. Job's a good one. But it did mean, because I was standing at the edge, that we had lots of people coming over to me saying, what's going on here then? And then I was like, being too cool for this. I was like, yeah, I think the sofa awards are going on.
You said I think.
I think I might have said.
Really sad.
I think I might have said that to one or two people. So sofa awards or something. They're like, oh right, all right then, bye. So
I was eventually I came, didn't I?
Yes.
To join you, and I could just stand right next to you, so it wasn't really a big deal.
No, because I got there about an hour or so before the Corrie people started arriving. And I also saw listener Charlotte came over to me and said hello.
Yes.
Thank you. I like the podcast. Nice to meet you, Charlotte. And then eventually, you turned up, but that was after people started arriving because that pesky Ryan Prescott
you were
arrived
like, Ryan
earlier.
Prescott's here, and I'm like, well, I've got to drop everything.
Yeah, 10 to 5 Ryan Prescott turned up, get out of his car. So the way it works is there was like some barriers, weren't there? The gates all got put up, the barriers got put out in front of us at one point. And then the cars come along and park up in front of the town hall, but they drive right the way down.
Some of them do.
Yeah, most of them do. They kind of get in, and then drive as far as they can drive, literally. So they're almost up by the Hackney Empire. Then they get out of their cars, and then they do the walk up and down all the stars.
Well, some of them do, and some of them go.
So yeah.
I'm going in.
So
I want champagne.
So I was in a good position to see the cars coming in, but not such a great position to actually see the people getting out of the cars. Although at some point, like as you saw later on, if there was like a bit of a collection of cars all coming together, then they would all be parked along behind each other, and people would get out all the way down the line.
I wouldn't say there was anywhere particular that is the best place completely, because you know, if the celebrity wants to, they will come and say hello to people, and if they don't, all you really get that's different is so you get to see them come out of the car, which is not that exciting, especially if they're like, don't look at me, peasants, I'm going inside. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. Well, eventually someone else came and stood next to us, didn't they? We had a lovely mum and was it mum and daughter? I can't remember. Was it
mother-in-law?
Mother-in-law and daughter, yeah, from Bristol, who came over, and they were also Corrie fans, and they also liked EastEnders.
They liked everything.
Yes, but I think they were the main ones. Oh, and Emmerdale.
Yeah,
they really liked
that's what
Emmerdale.
I mean. It's like anything but Doctors and Hollyoaks.
Yeah, they were well up for. So I ended up having a nice chat with
Tracy and Sue.
That's it. Yes, Tracy and Sue. Thank you. I couldn't remember. I knew I could rely on you to remember their name. Hello, Tracy and Sue, if you're listening. Lovely to meet you.
They were very excited.
They were really excited. So it was it Tracy's first time or was it Sue's first time? I can't remember. It was one of their first time going along to a British Soap Awards, and the other one had been, this is their third time, I think. So they were a bit like us, a bit seasoned Soap Award watchers. But yeah, they were well up for it, weren't they? I didn't do any screaming or anything. Did I call anyone over? I can't remember whether I did or not. But they and lots of other people were going, come and see me, get a photo with me.
Got to maintain your dignity.
We had to maintain our dignity, yes.
No, you didn't.
Didn't I? What did I do?
You were like, hi, it's me, I'm Michael from the podcast.
I did say that to a few people, yeah. But it was cool, it was fun, so it was really nice to share the experience with a few other visitors there. So Ryan Prescott came and he did a tour. I think he came up past us, I can't remember, but I was really bad. I was a little bit shy about calling some people over. Like, I didn't talk to Ryan, and I know that Dan Brocklebank came as well, and I didn't speak to him.
Yeah, but what? So what? I mean, what are you going to say?
Hello,
they don't know who you are.
Well, that Dan Brocklebank follows us on Twitter. I know that.
So yeah, but so what? He probably follows 1 million people.
Yeah, man, he's falling it free now. I thought I was special.
You are special to me, but you don't care about me. You wouldn't stand outside somewhere at 4 o'clock in the afternoon for me to arrive at 5, would you?
Yeah, totally would.
Totally would. Wouldn't.
Yeah, by the time, I think lots of people didn't realise what time people were going to get there, because still by 5 o'clock the crowds weren't massive, were they? I called you over, I texted you at 10 to 4 and was like, you got to get here now, and people are starting to arrive, but you were very easily able to just slip in behind me, weren't you? And I'm pretty sure that in previous years when we've been there's been like 2 or 3 rows back of people, and the crowds did grow over the course of the hour.
Well, maybe it's still the pandemic and people don't want to gather in large groups, which seems quite prudent.
Yes, quite possibly. So who else did we see?
Well, so you've got the first arrivals. You had Richard Hawley.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Richard Hawley came. He was another one that I really should have seen, because we have chatted to him before.
Yeah, but he wouldn't recognise us. I don't understand. He wouldn't.
No, I know, but I think he might have. Richard Hawley, I mean, I messaged him and I had a little conversation with him on Twitter after Johnny died. So I think if I'd said, hello, it's me, it's Michael from the podcast, he probably would, but I don't know, I didn't say hello to him. There was also people like Tanisha Gorey. She was one of the earlier ones, but she didn't hang around for too long. She didn't come up our end, otherwise I just said hello. She did, didn't she? And Millie Gibson as well, lovely Millie Gibson.
Yeah, Millie just went straight in. I think she was a bit nervous, maybe.
Yeah, she turned up and got out of the car. I think she said hello to a few people, but she was there with her mum Paula and Ali Sinclair, who's the head press lady.
Maybe Ali was like, come on, let's go inside.
Well, she was. You could see Ali was kind of ushering her inside a little bit.
Well, if you know she's young, she's nervous, she's up for an award, it's not. It's probably a bit too much, Some of the actors that came out and talked to everybody have been doing this for years, and even I at times was intimidated by the crowd, and I was standing the other side. I cannot imagine what it's like.
Yeah.
when you're the other side and everyone is literally screaming at you. But also, as you're going down the line, you've got no idea whether people are there for Coronation Street or for another soap. So you go up to someone, you're like, do you want a photo? And they're like, no, I don't even know who you are.
Well, this is always a bit embarrassing for me because like there were so many people eventually who came from EastEnders and Emmerdale and Hollyoaks and that lot, that the people like to the right of me and to the people to the left of me were like saying, oh, can I take your photo? Can I take your photo? And I was just not making eye contact with those people, and I felt really bad and rude. I really don't know who you are and I don't want to talk to you.
But there was literally one of the EastEnders women, I don't know her name, but they all seemed really, obviously they're all really nice. And she was like, oh, I don't know whether you want a photo with me or do you I don't know if anyone's here for me or not. And it was really sweet. Yeah. Because it's like, yeah. And is it Letitia Dean, who was she won the Lifetime Achievement. Is that the lady from, what was her name? Sharon?
Sharon. No,
yeah, that's different Sharon. She was so glam. She was like...
have it. Not that Sharon either.
Shut up. She was walking down and she was like going, hello, who wants a photo with me? Feel free to use Photoshop. Like that. She was really funny and very... Funny. She was strutting like a peacock because she definitely... deserved, you know...
Oh, yeah. Even I recognised her.
I know, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that she knew that she was going to get this award.
Yeah.
So, she was probably feeling pretty happy with herself, and damn right too, because she's a British soap institution herself.
She is just a bit, isn't she?
And sorry to just interrupt, she had her award presented to her by Anita Dobbs, didn't she?
Yes.
She looked amazing. I loved her dress.
See, I kind of vaguely recognise her from the clips of "Here's your divorce papers, Angie," and that's about it.
See, when I was watching the clips of her, like the early clips, I was like, oh, yes! Because I used to watch EastEnders when I was little, and I was like, oh, I remember that. And also, I had the same experience when we were watching the Neighbours tribute.
Oh, yeah, because during the show they did show it, which is nice, because the Neighbours just finished filming a couple of days ago for the last time.
I was like, Harold, Tony,
Kylie.
So when you go in, I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but when you go into the theatre, it is just a normal theatrical setting, isn't it? So you've got the stage downstairs, you've got the stalls. No.
Yeah, stalls is where
that's where all the celebs sit, so that you can't go down there. And that's where all the production staff's going around, and they've got little monitors, and they have to look at the monitors down on the floor so that they can be filmed reacting to their videos. Yeah. And then you've got the next, like the circle and everything, and that's where you sit. And to the sides of the stage there are big screens where you can watch the clips that are shown on TV, but we don't see any of the footage that's being recorded.
No.
We just see them, on stage. So the only time the screens are used is during the intervals when you guys have the advert breaks, and then we get to watch clips of like Dan Brocklebank singing songs from The Greatest Showman. And that's where they play the nomination videos. So like the presenter will say award for blah blah blah, here are the nominees, and then they'll show the clips, and we get to watch those, but that's about it. So that's where they played the Neighbours tribute and things. Anyway,
that was nice to do. I thought of another thing that happened before you got there. That was when one of these social media ladies from the British Soap Awards did a big sweeping camera shot all the way down the line, and we had to do it twice. She said, right, everybody, I'm from the social media team, I'm going to go down, you've got to be as loud and as excited as you can. Off your head, 3, 2, 1, go. And she came and started walking down the line, and we were like, yay. And she got about halfway, was like, no, that's not good enough, we had to do it again. Scream as loud as you can. So the one that actually appeared on the social media was the second shot, and I think I was still just going,
yeah, you were like,
I'm too cool for this.
Yes.
But that was quite cool.
I am.
I also, speaking of social medias, I ended up on Coronation Street social media, didn't I?
You did?
I was on there. I wasn't on their stories, was I? I think I was on their their photo feed. There was someone or other getting a photograph with somebody, and I snuck into the background of that. So thank you very much, social media team, for including me.
This is why everybody who doesn't believe that Bigfoot exists can do one, because I was there and nobody got a photo of me once.
No, you were very elusive, weren't you?
Proof, and I wasn't trying to avoid it, I just happened to not be there when things were happening.
Yeah.
But, so that is proof, if you ever needed it, that Bigfoot is real.
Okay. Who was the first person that I got?
Charlie Jordan.
Yeah, Charlie Jordan, that's right. See,
who plays Daisy.
Who plays Daisy, thank you. So the ladies to the left of me, Sue and Tracy, were very lucky to be by me, even if I do say so myself, because when they were saying, "Oh look, it's Daisy. What's her real name, Michael?" And I was saying, "That's Charlie." We were like, Charlie.
We were like the real name translators. I felt like I was at the UN or something.
We were, and then as soon as it was anyone not in Corrie, I didn't have a clue. So Charlie Jordan came past, and I think she almost swished past me. There was no way that she would recognise me. But then when I stopped her and I was like, "Charlie, it's Michael from the podcast," and she was like, "Oh my gosh, hello." She was absolutely
nice.
Lovely, because we'd interacted briefly around Christmas time when she won the Conversation Street Award. So she did that little video, nice thank you video for me. But we actually had a really nice little conversation for a minute or so there, and she was very, very down to earth. And she was like saying, "Oh, well done for coming." And I was like, yeah,
so you came down and we came up.
Yeah, and I was like, "You scrubbed up quite nicely, Charlie."
She's wearing a really lovely dress.
Yeah,
she's so beautiful.
She looked absolutely
she's
gorgeous.
like a little pixie princess.
But she was incredibly down to earth. And so then she moved on. She posed for a photo. That was lovely.
Then we had Colson Smith.
Colson Smith, yeah, he came past later. I don't know whether I've made Colson Smith mad or something. Because I was like,
he liked us to start with because I said I defended his right to look at his phone while he's sitting in traffic.
Yes, you did. I remember that. But I walked past and I was like, "Oh, Colson, it's me. It's Michael from the podcast." And he's like, "Oh, I recognise your voice." And then just moved on. I was like, "Oh, okay." There was one or two people that I said, "It's Michael from the podcast," and they went, "Okay," I moved on. So I was like,
well, that's why I don't say anything.
Enemies on the Coronation Street cast have I got?
No, it's not that. I think they're like, "Who cares? Bye."
it could
don't
just
take it
be
personally,
that.
I don't care.
Anyway, so that
so
was...
what? It's like saying, "Hi, I write a column for my local paper about how much I enjoy celebrity red carpet events."
Colson always has very swish, colourful suits, didn't he? What colour did he wear?
He had. I thought he was having a themed Conversation Street tie event because he actually had a Conversation Street orange
tie, didn't he? Yeah, in tribute to us on our 10th anniversary this year.
And he was wearing a what is it?
He's like a checkered blue jacket, didn't he? Suit jacket, very nice.
He always picks a brighter colour.
Yes, he
does.
Than
a lot of other men, which I appreciate because they get a lot of dark suits, very dapper, very swish, very restrained. But I'd like a bit of colour, and he picked a very nice sort of light navy that contrasted with the orange, which we're going to have to remember, Michael, when we come to accessorise with our orange outfits.
It didn't.
Why didn't you wear your Conversation Street t-shirt?
I know, I should have done.
I don't understand why you didn't.
I don't really know. I really should next time.
You know that you told me to order that orange top, and I did, but it hasn't arrived.
Yeah. It didn't. There was somebody in the Coronation Street lot that was wearing a really bright, spangly top. There was a guy, wasn't there, like a suit. Bright spangly suit.
Yes, we don't know who that was, but we have our theories.
We do have our theories, but I couldn't tell particularly. Anyway, who did we have next? Have you got just Gemma scrolling through her photos here? Was it after that Georgia Taylor came? Oh, was Charlie next? Was he? Lovely Charlie. So
he ran over.
Yeah, literally. The Charlie, he was like, he made a beeline for us because we'd sent him some pictures earlier saying we are here. Gets out the car, comes right over to me.
So nice.
Had a lovely hug. Got a photo. Now Charlie was actually accessorising for Conversation Street, wasn't he? Because he was wearing Conversation Street orange socks, and he literally told us that's why he wore them, because it was our colour. So thank you, Charlie, for paying tribute to us in your outfit.
Oh yeah, that's really nice of you.
Yes.
And he had a very nice tie on as well.
Yes, he did.
And he had a nice. I'm afraid I don't know what the checked pattern was, but he's so handsome.
Yeah, so
he debuted his beardless look.
He did, yeah, to the crowd. People still recognised him, and he hung around for a long time because he knows this is the last time, well, at least for Coronation Street, that he'd be able to come to the British Soap Awards. So he did a really nice job going back and forth to everybody.
Should he join Emmerdale to keep on ITV, or should he join EastEnders?
We can't go back to EastEnders, can he? He's not.
Yes, he can.
He said I don't think he's going to do another.
No, I don't think so.
Who did we have then?
Then we had the beautiful and radiant Julia Goulding, who saw you and gave you a lovely hug. She was wearing a figure-hugging, like, dark, muted zebra print, I think, because I've got trousers that look like that. So we're very much fashion twins in that way. And she came over, gave you a hug. She was really sweet.
She was
and
so
then
nice.
Sally Ann Matthews came out holding a glass of champagne because she's a proper celebrity.
Yes.
And then she came over and she said, "Oh, take a photo." And then they took a photo together. And Sally Ann Matthews went, "Oh, wait." And then she was like pointing at Julia's tummy, going la la la. And then like about an hour later, he went to me, "Do you think Julia Goulding's pregnant?"
I didn't know. I don't notice things like that.
And I was like, yes. I think she is. I was going to say congratulations to her, but I did. There was no time for me to say it in the conversation.
No, but Jules was absolutely lovely. She's I know she's not come onto the podcast for an interview ever, but she's interacted with us a bit in the past, and we met her once at the studios, didn't we actually? And that's when she was pregnant with Franklin. So I think that meeting us is her lucky pregnancy charm or something.
Well, I think that there's.
Is that how it works?
I remember when I was a kid. Like you always have these weird urban legend stories, and there was this kind of story about an office chair in Australia where if you sat on it and you were a female member of staff, you would get pregnant. Now, I don't know if they were cleaning it properly, but that was like the thing, and like a whole office of women all got pregnant at the same time. So maybe we're like that. Maybe we're like a pregnancy totem or something.
I think that must be.
But I think you should keep your hands to yourself in future.
I told Julia. I said, you know what? Shona was my character of the week on the podcast last week. And
what did she say? I don't care.
I said, oh, really? No, I said, you were brilliant. I said, you and Jack, what a brilliant couple you are. You have got such great chemistry together. And she said, oh, yeah, that's just because we're mates. So we just work really well. But she said, but they better not split us up. And I was like, yes, they better not split you up. They better not split you up.
I'm fully on board.
Because when I was
Team Shona and David.
Because I was on this conversation, because I was, what was I say? I was oblivious to the fact that she had a baby bump when I was having this conversation with her. It probably would have made more. She was probably saying, I hope they don't split me and David up when I go off on my maternity leave. Obviously, I didn't mention that. But I did text her later on in the evening and said, don't get any boxers, because we know what happened last time. Shona got in a box.
Yeah.
When you were pregnant. Don't let them put you in a box. So she was absolutely lovely.
She had a nice off-the-shoulder dress as well. She's so lovely.
Sally Ann Matthews looked very nice in blue as well, didn't she? Nice colour.
Sally Ann Matthews knows how to do proper old-school Hollywood glam.
Yes.
Doesn't she?
She didn't. We didn't see her arrive. There were an awful lot of people that came but didn't do the arrive in front of the town hall. A lot of them went round the back.
No, what I think what happened is a lot of them have like day jobs in there, like cleaning, working in the kitchens and things. So they probably just came off shift and just changed straight into their outfits.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because once the Corrie people had finished, and by that point Sally Ann Matthews hadn't come out. I'm sure Sal said she'd be here, but yeah, she came out of the door carrying a glass of champagne. And made a beeline for us as well.
That she came out with a glass of champagne in her hand. That is just so epic.
Yeah.
Then we got to see.
Oh yeah, Jamie Mckenna came out as well. He plays
Phil.
He plays Phil Double L. I didn't speak to him. He was another one that I don't know why I didn't say hello, but I didn't.
There's not a lot of opportunity.
There's not. He was
wearing like
he was very friendly.
Like a black suit with like a Liberty print shirt and a bow tie. Interesting choice. I like a bow tie. Yes, I think if I was a man dressing for a formal event, I might throw in the odd bow tie every now and then.
Why not?
Yeah.
Who else we got?
The next person, there's that lady in the peach suit. Yeah. She was just stopping us from escaping around.
Yeah.
Who comes? Oh, then we had.
Oh yeah, that's Georgia Taylor.
The lovely Georgia Taylor,
yes.
who looked absolutely radiant. She was really beautiful.
She was lovely.
She's got her hair done. She's a bit lighter, the hair, a bit blonder, and she was wearing a really gorgeous. And this colour suited her so nicely, like a hunter green, kind of like a V-neck, like it kind of like the strap. It was strapless, but the straps kind of went on the edges of her shoulders. Very simple, nice silhouette. Very classic, very beautiful. Yeah.
Now she was funny because when most of the cars...
She was funny, she's so funny,
when the cars came up, most of them, you couldn't see who it was because in the back windows are all...
so beautiful.
What's it called when you have the back windows that are blacked out? But
blacked out windows.
That's the word, isn't it? Tinted windows. So we were trying to look in and see who it was, but we couldn't. Some of them didn't. But then Georgia Taylor's car, she had the window down, didn't she? Because she did. I think she was looking out for me because as soon as she the window down, she's like, yeah, and she kind of waved out the window to me. And then she got out of the car, came and said hello. We got a photo. Had another hug again. She talked to both of us.
She looked so relaxed and happy, and such a lovely complexion and lovely makeup.
You're jealous.
Well, I can't. The thing is, Michael, even if I killed her, what would that achieve? So
it'd just be other beautiful, radiant people that come and take her place.
Maybe I'd think about it. Just saying. But she's nice though. I like her being my friend more than I want to wear her skin.
Good. That probably better stay with a status quo for that one then, hadn't we?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I can't remember that she did a few shots with Charlie with some of the other people as well. I can't remember.
Oh, Dan Brocklebank.
Dan Brocklebank came, said about him already.
Always really loved Daniel Brocklebank. He's like, hello, yes, I am on Coronation Street. Yes. You didn't know that he... What?
No, it's fine. No, at some point, Harriet Thorpe got out of the car as well, didn't she? Who was...
yes!
Apparently she was on the Mad Hatter's Tea Party scene.
Doctors.
No, I thought it was Hollyoaks, was it? It might have been Doctors. I don't know.
Oh, but God, I don't know that.
She's well known for me for being Carol in the British Empire. And she got out the car, and I had no idea that she was in a soap. So when she got out of the car, right in front of us, actually, I was like, that looks like Harriet. What's she doing there? And I thought, no, it can't be. It must be someone that looks like her. And then she went and talked to someone, and somebody had said, oh, you're off such and such. They mistook her for someone else. And she said, no, darling, I'm Harriet Thorpe. From the British Empire, and absolutely fabulous.
Did she say that?
Yeah. She said, I'm from the British Empire and absolutely fabulous. And I was like, it was her, but I missed the chance. I would have definitely said hello to her.
Are we going to see her in a play?
We are going to go and see her in a play later on this year. But I would have absolutely said, you were bloody brilliant in the British Empire if I'd had a chance.
Well, yeah, I wish I got to speak to her.
And I got one photo of her, and it was a really bad photo as well.
I think when we go, we need to work out whether she was in Doctors or Hollyoaks. I think you're probably right. But when we go to see her in a play, we should boost her confidence by going, you're from Hollyoaks, like that, you see.
Well, we had, and I can't remember the name of the actress again, it's really bad, the one that was in the Games recently and is also in Emmerdale, getting terrorised by Nita Desai off Corrie. Everybody was going past saying, oh, you're great in Emmerdale, and I said to her, I remember you from Corrie, and she says, yes, I was in Corrie as well.
I know, but it was, the way she said it to you was sort of like how when a little child comes up to you and says, I'm eating an apple, and you're like, that's right, you're eating an apple. She did say
it in a bit of a patronising way.
No, she wasn't patronising you. She was like, yes, that's right.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry, I mean, patronising is not the right word, that's right.
No, you were patronising her. I used to be in Coronation Street.
I know, you.
Like, I know.
You were in
I probably know better than you that I was in Coronation Street because I turned up to work there every day.
Yes, that is very true. We had Adam Hussein came along, wasn't he?
He was one of the ones that was like, great, yes, I don't know who you are, bye.
Adam Hussein definitely knows who I am. I've had numerous conversations with him on DM, but I said, that's me, Michael, from the podcast. And he's like, all right. And then
he did, he literally went, all right.
So I'm going to get him back for that at some point.
Oh, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Molly Gallagher turned up, although she went straight up the steps, didn't she? She was there with her blonde streaks in. Was that it for Coronation Street people? For the time being, because I was waiting to see Sally Carman turn up, and she told me a couple of weeks ago that yes, she was going to be there, but eventually, Rob Mallard was there. We're just looking through Gemma's phone at the moment.
Rob Mallard's always popular.
Yeah, he stayed out for a long time actually. So Sally Carman was not here, and then I spoke to. I think it was when I spoke to Julia Goulding. I said, "Is Sally Carman coming?" And she said, "Oh yeah, she's coming, but she's not here yet."
We saw Gray from EastEnders, and I know who that is.
Yes, you did recognise Gray, didn't you?
He's evil. Don't
recognised him, and you recognised Mina from EastEnders.
I did because
Emmerdale,
because I like the villains. They're my favourite characters.
But
here's Harriet.
Oh yeah, there's Harriet. You've got a better shot of Harriet.
I've got a whole video of her going no.
Yes, no, but Sally Carman eventually turned up. Just a little bit late, and she was absolutely lovely. And this is the first time that we had ever met, hadn't we? Now, we've had Sally Carman on the podcast before a few times. I messaged her occasionally, and so I was determined to actually meet her this time. She came over.
We had double Sal, didn't we?
We did have double Sal. She was wearing a jumpsuit, wasn't she?
Yeah. She looked amazing. It was like a mesh. It was one of these lacy ones with like a sort of a skin-coloured mesh underneath. Yeah. With glitzy, sequiny things, wearing beautiful bright red lipstick. I do really like Sally Carman's personal style is so cool.
Yes.
She's really cool. And she always likes her glamour up. So she looked like Abby on the town, didn't she? Because in Coronation Street, when Abby wants to doll up, she always looks.
She looks good.
Amazing.
So she was one who, when she got out of the car, started going the other direction, getting further and further away from us. And I'm like, I'm not missing this opportunity. So I called Sally Ann Matthews over, who was also there at the time, and said, "Go and get the other Sal. Go and tell her I'm over here." Why did you
get Sally Ann Matthews be your gopher?
She was my gopher for that. So
she wouldn't have done it unless she had champagne in her hand.
Sal went over and got her and brought her over, and then we had a lovely little chat. And did we have a hug? I can't remember whether we had a hug or not.
Well, I think I hugged her. I can't remember. Julie Goulding photobombed a picture of Sal and
Sally, which is funny.
Oh my God, I love her so much.
She was great, and obviously Joe Duttine was there as well. Her husband
and I just went, "Boo, Tim, no.
Hey, Tim.
Get away. Why are you here?"
We're liking Tim more at the moment.
No.
You've got to admit it, Gemma. It's just a thing.
What, now he's got erectile dysfunction?
Yeah. I feel more of a man than him.
No, Tim is the Toby to my Michael from The Office.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I know.
But
you voted Leanne as Character of the Week last week, and you never would have thought yourself doing that 9 years ago.
No, I am a very nice person who will... I'm open-minded, but not Tim. Never Tim.
So they went, and I think that was it from Corrie, wasn't it? And then we ended up staying another hour or so, but all the other soap cars were coming, and people were getting out, and like the vast majority, I had no idea who they were. I didn't stop for them, but I hung around just in case any other Corrie people would turn up. Jack James Ryan turned up with his sister, whose name eludes me, Rebecca.
Were they?
And I think they'd said a couple of hellos, but they went quickly up. They didn't come anywhere near us. So we just kind of hung around for an hour or so, watched the other soap people, including Danny Dyer, who, most of the crowd seemed to be, the EastEnders were on their home turf, weren't they, for this? Whenever there was a chance to cheer for your favourite soap, Coronation Street seemed to get the quietest reaction, but EastEnders were like, "Whoa!" Absolutely, loads of EastEnders fans, and never so more than when Danny Dyer got out of his car, and he really liked to work the crowd, didn't he?
He was loving it. He was like, it was like, I can't even compare it to anything. They couldn't have adored him more. It was like, I don't know, like the Queen and the Jubilee. Everyone was like, yes, you're the best human being that ever lived. And he was like, yes, I am, everybody. Who wants a photo with me? And then he came over to the people. There was so Sue and Tracy, the husband, came.
Lee.
And he loved him so much. And he was like, "Oh man," and like incomprehensible, like shouting, and like it made him give him a hug. And then they ended up like doing a dance move. Danny Dyer was like, "Oh my God, what's this? Strictly Come Dancing," or something like that. It was really funny. Yeah. But he was very charming.
Yeah,
but I'm still not really sure where he's from.
It has become a bit of a tradition for me to pull faces and do a little bit of Saki poses in the background of Danny Dyer pictures. I was sad that I will never be able to do that again. But that was it. So we went.
No, when we had Mina from Emmerdale, and she was beautiful. She looked like a mermaid.
Yes, I can't remember what the actress is called, but she ended up going home with the leading performer, didn't she?
She did.
She did. Job.
Yeah. I wish I'd seen that story. There's some storylines on different soaps that when I hear about them, I think, I wish I'd been able to see that happen.
Mina stories does sound fun.
But it feels like, the thing about soaps is, I feel like there's not as much replay value. Once you know what's going to happen, there's not really much point in watching. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know.
Tell you what,
maybe I should find a YouTube compilation video.
Another actor that came out and got a great reaction was Mark Charnock. Is that his
name?
Who plays Marlon from Emmerdale, because he's going through the Big Stroke storyline at the moment, doing a fantastic job from what little snippets of Emmerdale that we've seen.
I think that there seems to be big names from each soap, and I don't think Corrie busts theirs out for, I think Jack Shepherd would be a massive. Yeah, he didn't turn up last night, did he? And also, he plays Carla.
Ali King.
If Ali King came, I think.
Yeah, and Ali King did come to the last one. I think fair enough. If a lot of them are based up north,
also big storylines, not necessarily for.
Yeah, no, not
for those characters. But if you were looking at the crowd reactions, you might go, "Oh well, Corrie doesn't have any." Like kind of superstar status.
Last time when we were at the Hackney Empire, that was when Conor McIntyre was here, wasn't he? And I think that's when he just left as well. He absolutely did.
And I don't understand. It doesn't feel to me as though I mean, I don't know anything about those other soaps, but, you know, on Coronation Street, I really do feel like it's more of an ensemble thing. So I don't understand why there's a bigger reaction for those specific actors than any of the other ones that are sort of on a similar level of being prolific on the because I love all of them.
Was there? So we went there, and then did we go and get something to drink then?
We went to McDonald's and got a pink lemonade.
Oh yeah, that's right. And the receipt machine wasn't working, so I didn't know what number I was waiting out for. Then we went into the theatre, and what do you know? We were ending up sitting next to Tracy and Sue, weren't we?
Tracy and Lee.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, but I think Sue was nearby as well.
And her husband.
The same people who were standing up next to outside just happened to have the tickets right next to us. What are the chances of that?
Add on that the twins that were the other side of them were the people in front of us who wouldn't sit down.
Oh, were they?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's so funny. But yeah, we were a little bit closer than we had been before, weren't we? We were in the dress circle, kind of the lower bit of it.
Yeah, we got the best tickets we could get.
There was a row in front of us, which would have been even better if we'd have got into there. But we still had a decent view of the stage. We were kind of very central, weren't we?
Yes.
But slightly to the right, so that when we looked down into the stalls down the bottom, we had a really good view of the Coronation Street people. So as we got there, most of the people, most of us, the plebs, were standing up watching everybody arrive, and down in the stalls, the curry people started showing up, so we could see who was sitting where, and sort of
also see all the people
hugging
who
and seeing
schmoozing
and
like
stuff.
Harriet Bibby, Harriet Bibby did.
Yeah, she was there outside,
but I don't think she came over. She just sort of stood on the steps and watched everybody.
Yeah. But we saw Ian and Verity McLeod there. We saw, I can't remember who else did we see. Oh, some of the people on the writers' team. Joe Parkinson, who's doing the storyliner at Coronation Street. Now, I'd messaged him just a few days before, actually, and said, "Are you going to be there?" And he said he did. So when we were standing up, he spotted me, and then he took a photo of me, and then I took a photo of him, and we sent it to each other on Instagram, so that was quite fun. I can't remember whether... Oh, we also saw Kate Oates, didn't we?
Oates.
Ex-Corrie producer and defector to EastEnders. Kate Oates was there, looking very nice in a bright green dress.
Amazing.
So glam. I'd really like to say hello to her at one point. I almost pulled her over afterwards when you were going back to get the cable, because my phone ran out of battery and I forgot to bring the cable.
I can't believe it. I thought that there would be... let's get to it later.
Okay. So yeah, we watched everybody arriving and schmoozing, and during the advert breaks... that's when all the celebs go out for a vape, or they go out to for a wee or whatever, or to the bar, or they go and have a hug, like when Millie picked up her Best Young Performer award in the next break. As soon as he could, Charlie D'Amelio gets up and goes and gives her a massive hug.
I'm so happy for her that she got that.
Yeah.
She really deserved that.
I'm really, really pleased about that one. Because Corrie didn't pick up many awards. She picked up one, and Max Evans picked up the Best Villain, which that was a real triumph, considering who he was up against, with Mina from Emmerdale and also Gray from EastEnders. So good on him.
Yeah.
And then obviously the other person was Jan Mcvery, the long-term writer of Coronation Street.
She's done lots of stuff.
Yeah. So that was really nice.
She was wonderful.
Yeah, and award presented to her by Conor McIntyre.
That was a surprise.
That was a mega surprise. And I spoke to a couple of people after the show, and they said they were also surprised when Conor walked up on stage. So it was really nice hearing him talk about her past, about all the work that she's done on Coronation Street. But yeah, alas, we didn't win any other awards than that. But I don't know, it just felt... Well, I'm sure the crowd loved it, because, as I said earlier, the crowd seemed very much to be pro all the other soaps, apart from Doctors, sorry. There was just huge cheers for Emmerdale and EastEnders and Hollyoaks. But... When
you go to the Lowry, which is in Manchester, very, very near this Coronation Street Studios in Media City, which is where they host the Soap Awards when they have it up north, the crowd seems to really, really like Emmerdale, which is funny because Coronation Street is obviously filmed nearby.
Yeah. I don't know. Does Coronation Street just not appeal to an award-going?
Yeah, it's about the demographics of who's going to come and who wants to come and look at celebrities. And I think perhaps because Coronation Street's got a broader spectrum of viewers, maybe. I'm just guessing. There are less people who think that going and standing and screaming at Danny Dyer outside of a town hall on a Saturday evening is a good thing to do.
Well, we certainly gave it all we got when it was time to cheer and clap for the Coronation Street actors when the awards were announced, or when the nominees were announced. And really well done to Millie. She was really sweet when she did her acceptance speech, and Max as well. And he thanked his mum and his nana and stuff. It's just really lovely.
Whenever there was a category, because they say so when it gets filmed, Philip Schofield will come out and he sort of goes, oh, so blah 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 blah. We'll be right back after this, and then they cut to the break and they sort of play the video. But there was like a floor manager who will say, next category up is leading performer and best horse in show, and then I quickly went onto my phone and I typed out a congratulations tweet for each category so that I could just quickly paste it into Twitter. I didn't want to tempt fate by writing it directly into Twitter and saving it as a draft.
No, you put it in notes, didn't you?
So, but the amount of them I had to just delete was so depressing.
Yeah, a bit of a shame.
Especially because, the Best Family, I'm the Allahans, I just love them so much. Jimmy Harkison was there, wasn't he? Came, and obviously we already mentioned Tanisha and Adam were there. So I feel really bad for them because I loved the Allahans, and I'm really enjoying the fact that that's a new category for this year.
Yeah,
so
that was one of the viewer voted rather than panel, wasn't it? I think the only viewer voted one was Best Family, and gosh, I can't remember, was it the leading actor or.
Well, there's Best Dramatic Performance and Best Actor, which is basically the same thing, but one of them is judging. Why they've got both of those. But they need to clarify the category names better than they have done, because what they need to do is stop poncing around and just call it Best Dramatic Performance Popular Vote, Best Dramatic Performance Panel Vote.
Something like that.
They just need to be honest about what it is and stop fannying around with Best Dramatic Performance. They're all dramatic performances.
That's true. One thing that I noticed, because I know very little about what's going on in the other soaps, is like with Coronation Street, where the vast majority of the nominees were for the hate crime story, it felt like we were seeing the same stories again and again for the other soaps, didn't we? There was the Hollyoaks one about the historic rape that we kept seeing show, and here she is again. She got 2 awards, actually, didn't she?
Yeah.
But we saw lots of clips of, in various ways, this character realising that she was raped when she was younger. She seemed to have
came to the same conclusion about 4 different times.
And then in, what's the other one that came up a lot? I think it was Marlon, but maybe
Mina's story and Marlon, and also there seemed to be an evil child, burning things down. Maybe
I don't know.
The Tea Party got quite a few clips.
Did it? I thought they just got one. I don't know. Right. No, there's another one that I'm thinking of that maybe I didn't realise from before that but it kept on going again. It's gone out of my head. But anyway, it'd be nice to see a bit more of arrangement. Never mind. But anyway, so we sat through the awards show, and there's not much to say about it particularly, is there? It was as it was on TV, and during the break times we could watch people milling about, and then there was a countdown saying 30 seconds, into your seats, everybody, and people still being a bit slow about it.
And if you're a celeb and you don't get out in time, you get
told you can't come back,
or you have to sneak in when they're playing the clips.
Yeah, we saw there was one bit, Georgia Taylor.
Yeah, I can't believe you called her out, because I wasn't going to mention that.
So once it was finished, we kind of milled out, and that's when you decided. We all agreed that you would go back to the hotel to get the charging cable for me, didn't you?
Yes, because we tried to run out immediately, and we got stuck behind some very slow, annoying people who wouldn't move out of the goddamn way. And I couldn't boot them down the staircase because I think I might have got arrested. So we didn't bolt out as quickly as we wanted to, and I ran as fast as I could back to the hotel to get this stupid charging cable, because your phone is a nightmare. And
it's just a few years
I left my phone with you, and I took your dead phone with me. And on the way, I was imagining that this was going to be on a murder mystery program. Unfortunately, as she had taken her husband's phone and the battery was dead, we have no way of tracing where she went.
Yes,
and I was wondering if I could do a Stephen Fry.
You made it back, and
also at one point, I had to run up the stairs to get to our hotel room because the lift was dodgy, and I thought if I get into this.
Stuck in a lift with no phone.
Stuck in a lift. I also was thinking, how long would it take for Michael to even notice?
So I went back to roughly where I'd been standing before, opposite the town hall, and that's when Joe Parkinson and then Dominic in the archiving came over to me, and we had a chat for 5-10 minutes or so, which was really nice. Thank you very much, Joe, to speak to you. And I saw Charlie and Georgia and a few of the others come out. But they couldn't stop. They were kind of all ushered into the town hall, really. And we loitered around for a little bit more. A few of the other stars from the other soaps, like, 5'10", came over and did a few more autographs and photographs and stuff. The woman who won Best Comedy Performance from EastEnders, she came out and she was very good, and she did a little shimmy down the line.
She was great. She was having the time of her life.
She was loving it. Yeah, and at one point I kind of stayed out the front. You did a little scout around the outside, because there's a side door where literally some of the other soap cast members were just coming out and standing around and having a chat, getting some fresh air.
Yes, fresh air
or smoky air.
Yeah.
Max Evans came out there for a little bit for a chat. Not with me. I didn't speak to him then. And I can't remember who else did, but yeah, we didn't see anybody else that we knew. So we just stood and loitered. For a little bit. We stood
and we pondered the very many different ways we could rush in or break in or sneak in.
The security was just too good. I would love to have gone inside there, but the opportunity didn't present itself to us.
No, I felt like I was in the Hunger Games, and I was from District 11 or whatever. And they were in the capital and they wouldn't let us in, and it was like, wow, you know what? I'm going to start a revolution, a communist revolution, and then there won't be any parties for anybody.
So it was getting dark, it was getting late, it was about, 11 o'clock at this time?
Michael, can I just tell you that we stood outside like the sad children who don't get picked for a sports team for an hour and a half.
Did we?
Yes, we did.
Just waiting to see if anyone wanted to come and say hello to us.
Please. No, stay outside. We
spied, and then afterwards there's another bit where we could see the actors and actresses getting into the cars and being driven off to maybe a better party, maybe just a hotel.
Well, I've heard in past years that party's not so fun, and they go to other parties. But maybe it was better this year. Maybe I don't know.
But
we wouldn't know, would we?
We wouldn't know, would we? No. But we saw Sally Ann Matthews getting into her car, didn't we? We just happened to be there as she was getting into her car and drove off.
What a special treat for us.
Lovely. But the biggest final treat of the night is when we decided, let's go home. We walked off and we were just walking down the street in Hackney, and we were like, hang on a minute, I think that's Jan Mcvery.
Jan Mcvery, woman of the moment, queen of soaps.
Who won the Tony Warren Award for all her brilliant work. I was like, Jan? And she's like, yeah. And she was so lovely. She had no idea who we were.
No.
And we talked to her about the podcast and everything. She was so lovely. She talked a bit about Conor McIntyre.
She was lovely. She just loved chatting. She was great.
So chatty, considering she was just accosted by people who she didn't know from Adam.
Yes, and it's her special night too. And she was with her family, so I felt guilty,
but
she
got a photo with her. I think we maybe need to get her onto the podcast for a chat sometime, because she was so friendly. But yeah, in the end, their taxi arrived.
She was just having a great time talking and reminiscing about her.
Yeah, she was.
Her career. She really should.
She didn't have her award with her, did she?
No,
I want to
ask
her award.
To take it.
Yeah.
Just look after it for her. But she said, I can't remember what she said.
Good story. Well done. I wasn't expecting you to bust out your Scouse accent then, Gemma.
No. I can't remember, but she was just so charming and wonderful, and she looked fantastic. Her dress was lovely.
Oh yeah, she talked to you about her dress.
She got it from TK Maxx.
Yeah.
She said, and she said she liked my bag.
Yeah, she did say. She said, "Is that a present?" And then you said, "Yeah, it was from him, but he doesn't know about it."
And she went, "Oh, one of those, is it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've got a lot of them." She was fun. Yeah, she was funny.
Was lots of fun.
She was warm. She was witty. She was really. Wonderful.
And that was just a really nice coincidental treat. And when we went up to her, I was like, Gemma, is that Jan Mcvery? And you thought, maybe. I think I might speak to her.
Because I recognised the dress.
Yeah, so I think I might speak to her.
Really, and you said,
I'm not going up to speak to her. So,
no,
I did. I'm a little bit bolder there. And I went up and said, Jan, is that you?
I can't take rejection.
No, but she was lovely.
And
then
we
went back to the hotel.
No, not before. A weird man told me that.
We've got to talk about the weird man.
I looked like Velma.
Yeah, we were walking up, looking to try and get a pizza delivery, and then a guy comes up and is like, "Hello, Velma. You look like Velma from Scooby-Doo."
I've heard that so many times.
That was weird.
It's not true. It's literally, if you're a girl who wears glasses,
you're either Velma or Daria.
Will tell you. No, Daria's long gone, but I used to be called Daria when I was a girl. They will say you look like Velma as some kind of compliment, which I don't think is fair on Velma.
But he was very chatty, wasn't he? Maybe a little bit drunk.
No, he wasn't drunk.
Oh, okay.
He told me I was a Cadbury's cream egg because I was hard on the outside and creamy on the inside.
Oh yeah, and he told me that I was a Kit Kat.
Stood there and let him insult me.
Well,
like that.
You have soft insides.
But he doesn't know how I'm hard on the outside.
No.
I didn't know that from looking at me.
And he oh god, sirens.
Yes,
and he
carry
showed
on.
us his Power Ranger model that he just bought.
That's
Tommy
why I'm
the White
telling
Ranger.
you, he wasn't drunk. He was just a bit of an interesting person.
He was very interesting, but we were trying to get rid of him, but it didn't really work.
Well, I thought
we went in the end.
I'm not really scared of people
chatted.
like that because I'm not sure what they're going to
was a bit
say.
scared.
But then I thought he's not hurting anybody, so I just thought I'd chat to him about.
Yes.
I told him my mum would adopt him.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because he asked whether you had a sister, didn't he?
Yeah, I said I have a sister, but my mum will adopt you.
Yeah.
And then he can be my brother.
And he says he's 41 and single.
Yes, he did. Don't know why.
No, but luckily he didn't poach you off me, and we ended up back at the hotel.
Well, that's because he doesn't have a podcast. If you told me he did a podcast, I would maybe think about it.
Yeah. What? Right, we need to go, everybody. It's 10:57. We need to be out of our hotel room by 11 o'clock, and we're still not completely packed yet.
That's fine.
So thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. If I did manage to put this on YouTube and put some videos and photos with it, I hope you've enjoyed watching, but apologies if I don't. And that is it. We're going to be back next weekend to talk about what's going on in Coronation
Thank you
Street.
to all the lovely celebrities who came
Thank
and
you
made
so much. It was
everybody
so
happy
nice.
and excited.
Everybody who came over and said hello. Very,
all
very
wonderful,
grateful.
and congratulations to all the
And,
winners and all the nominees.
No doubt we'll be back up in Manchester next year to go
I'm
and
not
see
doing
next
this again.
year's Lowry one. Yeah, love it, Gemma. Don't pretend you don't. See you, everybody. Ta-ra for now. Bye. Say bye, Gemma.
Oh,
Say
bye. Yeah.
The music for this
I'm
episode
packing.
came from podcastthemes.com.